Hey. Hi,
Hey.
Kay.
Hi, Kay. How are you? Hi, Michala. How's it
Hi. It's
going?
good. This week was busy. Busy
I
week.
yeah, I can't believe that it's the day that it is right now. We're recording this on Sunday, but
Like, it's almost the middle of June.
yeah,
Let that sit in for a second.
yeah, it's
Think
it's June
about
12th when
the
this
last
comes out.
12 days. I remember one.
I don't remember anything
I
about
don't
June
remember
so far.
anything.
Like I remember Thursday night from last week,
Yeah.
June 8th, I guess. I remember June 9th because it's my mom's birthday and it
Yeah.
was Friday also. But yeah, other than that, I'm like, I have no idea what is going on with time.
Like, is something wrong with us, or is that normal to not remember?
I think that's normal. I think it is anyways.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I can't remember who I was saying this to, but I was like, I feel like for recalling a month or something like that, like I find that I remember like the 15th to the 19th. Like those are the days of the month that I remember the most.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that
I agree.
says about me, but
I think my brain's finally like, oh, it's June now. Forgot to tell you.
yeah, just letting you know.
Did you pay rent? Okay, good, because I
Oh my gosh,
forgot to remind you.
how many times do you think to yourself, oh my gosh, is my rent? Wait, am I gonna have money for rent?
Uh-huh.
And it's like
Yeah.
the 13th of the month, and you're like, there's definitely another payday in here.
Yeah.
Like, we're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad for that.
Holding out for August. That's my 3 month or
Ooh.
3 paycheck month. Gonna get crazy.
June is mine. This month.
Oh, this month.
Yeah. But like
They
it
really
hasn't
set you
been
up for success.
It really has not been a month of no expenditures. Like
I
there just seems
know.
to be stuff happening all the time right now. And one of the biggest expenses that I'm experiencing right now is that I need to buy new clothing
Mm-hmm.
because I don't have any summer clothes.
It's this. Yeah. It's the summer when you're like, nothing fits / I just want new things, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like for the last how many months I've been wearing pants and sweaters and
Yeah.
closed-toed shoes. Like
Yeah.
I don't think I have sandals.
I don't either.
I threw out my Birks last year, I think.
Yeah. I showed you. I just bought a new pair of shoes, just regular shoes,
Mm-hmm.
because the ones I went into the store with, I looked crazy.
Like a homeless
I
person.
had a hole in the bottom of my shoe.
In the sole or in the heel, right?
Yeah, like I've been walking just on the ground.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder where my feet hurt. Feet are
Yeah.
like, maybe you should wear something that actually has a
Support.
regular bottom to it. Just anything. A flip-flop, even.
I'll take anything at this point.
Anything. You know what? Just go barefoot. It's better than that.
I remember there were so many times when I was working this like service job, and if I wasn't going to be there until close, actually no, sometimes even if I was there until close, I would bring sandals to work so that I could change out of my shoes and wear sandals and be able to like walk in the cold air.
Yeah.
The
I'm bad
midnight
for
air.
I'm bad for being lazy and not wanting to change my shoes at work. I have shoes, like I left them there, and they're like regular, like actual good support for your feet.
Uh-huh.
But then I'm always like, I don't want to walk upstairs, so I'm just gonna wear my Converse. So Converse are the worst things to wear when you're working an 8-hour shift. So
yeah. I need to. What I would really like. Oh my gosh, Jacqueline, this cat sleeps all day long, and then as soon as we're recording this, like, get out of here. Go.
And then he's like,
like, I would really like to invest in a pair of like white tennis shoes, so that I can wear them with like nice pants when I go to office.
Yeah, I want to have I need to go out and buy a couple pairs of shoes because I find I buy one pair and then I wear them out until they're absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I should have, a couple shoes to kind of
Yeah.
Switch in and out.
Well, yeah. And the nice thing if you have multiple pairs of shoes is that they don't get worn out because you're going between 2 or 3 different pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your work shoes will always get like destroyed fast because.
Yeah. And I'm very hard on my heels too.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right. We're working on it.
I remember one time I used to have a pair of like these boots and they would like click when I walked. They were just my clicky boots. I loved them. They were awesome.
I can't remember those.
And I remember I must have just like stomped the shit out of these heels because by the time I threw them out, like there was like, you know how like heels would be like a 90-degree angle, right? No, like these had like a 7-degree angle to like two 70-degree angles to like attach the 90-degree angle rather. Like there was just a big divot that cut across. I was like, wow. Or 45-degree angle. Sorry,
yeah.
That's what I meant.
I know. Yeah. All my boots are like slanted back. I'm like, I wonder why I fall. It's because my shoes are like not regular anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Shoes. Summer
shoes
clothing.
and summer. Bathing suits.
Oh, God. The thought of putting on a bathing suit and being half naked in front of anybody who's not my reflection is like not okay with it.
Well, we'll try again next year.
You know what?
2024
is going to be my year.
2024. Yeah. It's always funny. People at work are like, I'm working on Pride Body 2023. And I'm like, you know what? I'm working on Pride Body 2025. Yeah. Good.
Post-grad.
Yeah. But you know, body positivity.
Yeah. I remember when I was working Pride, there was this one server and he would like do his Pride diet a week before Pride and it was just a liquid diet. He would not eat whatsoever so that he could feel thin. And that that was his like his slimming technique, I guess.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I have not done that.
No.
But you know what? I could start it this week. Liquid diet.
But why? Why would you do that?
I'm not going to. I say
that. I say it, but
he's not gonna.
No, not gonna do that.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So how's your week been? What have you done? What have you seen?
Yo, it has been like the busiest week of my entire life.
Yeah.
I've had 2 exit interviews, so like giving positive and constructive
and not so positive.
Like it's not negative feedback, it's constructive feedback to the nonprofit. So I've done that twice. It's been a lot of like wrapping up like the projects that I've been involved with and making sure that like handover documents are appropriate, I guess. But then randomly people started like giving me last minute projects thinking that it was going to take no time at all. But I'm like, do you realize that like one of the projects is that they want me to make a highlight video for some of the things that they do. But the highlight videos that they are referring to is like, there's literally thousands of videos and they've given me a selection of, I think it was like 17 specific accounts. And within those 17 accounts, there are like 10 to 25 videos and they're all like an hour to an hour and 40 minutes long. Like, I was like, do you realize that for me to go through all of those videos and find these little golden nugget moments, like that's going to take like a week and I'm not going to be here in a week. And then on top of that, this week that we're going into right now, like I have events that I have to be in person for, which means that I'm not going to be at my computer. I'm not going to be able to work on things. It's like a write-off day entirely.
Yep.
So it's just like, I don't know.
What kind of events are you in person for?
So I have to go to this thing at, I think it's like a book launch at OCAD.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. But it's like from 4:00 until 6:00. And the thing that really bothers me about work after 5 p.m. is that I'm like, I do everything in my power to be readily available between the hours of 9 and 5.
Yeah.
And I schedule everything about my life outside of work hours. But now you are scheduling me to do something after work hours. And I realize like it's only 1 hour. Like it's not that big of a deal, but it's the principle of the topic, you know, and like
Yeah.
like
We're in a time where like we're just so overworked and stressed, not making enough money.
mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know. If you have a really good boss, it's like they need to understand that your time is valuable. And yeah. It's crazy when
Well,
they
and
expect you to like be like any workplace, like be available at all hours. It's like, no, I have things to do. I have a personal life.
yeah.
Relationships.
Well, and that was one thing that I really learned during the pandemic was just how much I actually enjoy my downtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were given all of this time away from work to be able to, I guess, like be reintroduced to ourselves and the things that we enjoy doing. And like I learned a lot about myself during that time. And if I'm not on the clock, I would like to be getting back to that guy and being uh like a completely different human being than
Yeah.
the other one. The other one.
The other one. Yeah. And yeah, you realize how much it affects your health too. Like just stress and overworking. It's insane.
Yep.
Like looking back at when I was working 3 jobs to like make ends meet not too long ago. Like
To make ends meet.
yeah.
Not even like to enjoy the finer things in life.
No. Not to like, you know what, I want to buy an expensive ticket. Like, no, it's just to like pay rent.
Yep.
Yeah, you're just like body's so unhealthy. Like I'm still trying to rewire my body and get it back to where it should be.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, it just falls apart. It really makes like deteriorates your body essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
So do some yoga, folks. Do some meditation. I've started meditating.
You know, one thing that really, when it comes to like health and like taking care of yourself, I feel like so many people are so hung up on the idea that when it comes to a diet, that it's like, oh, I don't eat avocado because it's high in fat.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't like, or I won't eat dairy or like cheese because it's so high in fat and like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is that like with a lot of these meals, when you're cooking it yourself, you know, not so much when you go to a restaurant, like we can't really count restaurant food as like anything even close to healthy.
Yeah.
But when you're eating this stuff at home and you're cooking it for yourself, like, yes, avocado and cheese and like most dairy products are very high in fat, but they're also the types of fat that your body needs to be able to function. Like,
yeah.
Like your body still needs fuel.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I'm not saying go and eat that 2.43 kilogram bag of shredded cheese in your fridge, but like,
yeah. But sprinkling it on the top of something like
it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how many people these days don't have an idea of how like nutrition works.
But it's sad because we're not taught that. And it's crazy when you go to, I think it was Sweden I think it was Sweden, which is like the happiest place in the world or something. They're taught that. Like that's part of their curriculum as grade 4 or 5 students to like understand what an apple is and why it's healthy to eat an apple, what's actually in it.
Mm.
And they're taught that because really, if like, unless we had like TikTok and stuff and just general research, like how would you ever know?
Yep.
You know, yeah. Because we're not taught that. And there's so much marketing being like, a cheeseburger, it's healthy because it's only 100 calories. Like, okay, yeah, but...
It's the cheeseburger that's being advertised, but it's a vegan cheeseburger. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's not meat, it's completely plant-based. And people thinking that because it's plant-based makes it healthy, but it's the chemicals that go into
exactly.
keeping it all together.
Yeah. I like the idea of not dieting, but just like basing your general diet around whole foods.
Mm-hmm.
If it has grown and it's a whole food, you know, sure, throw it in. Like as many,
throw it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like try to do as less the amount of like ingredients in something kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly, if I'm cooking something at home, I'm really not concerned with anything about it. Like even like if I'm cooking eggs, I fry an egg in butter. Like,
yeah.
It's and you know, I feel like a lot of people cringe at the idea of frying something in butter, but at the same time it's like, yeah, but butter is like it's a fat, you know what I mean? It's not like I was using a cooking spray oil that is, you know what I mean?
You don't even know what's in it.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like making mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Making your homemade with, you know, your whole grain noodles and your shredded cheese and a bit of butter.
Yeah.
Versus like a Kraft dinner box that has 50 ingredients, none of which
powdered cheese.
Yeah, exactly. It's like just make it yourself if you can.
Yeah. And that's actually a crazy thing too, is to think when you put like actual shredded cheese into the macaroni, this is making me very hungry, by the way.
I know.
It's so much better. Like it sticks together and like, you know what I mean? Highly recommend. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
10 out of 10 would recommend.
Get that in your face hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any hoozle. I don't know how we got on the topic of health.
Because we're hungry.
Starving.
And
I have half a glass of wine in me.
I know, and I don't have any. Darn.
Do you want to go and get it? Do we need a wine break for you to refill?
It's all right.
It'll give us a great opportunity to put some little interlude music in here.
You know what? I'll give you that, Michael Jenkins.
Okay.
Creative freedom.
We're going to do this for Michala, okay? Please hold. And just like that. So refreshed.
So refreshed.
Everyone just is a little bit happier now with that.
Quite happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so back to the week. So then on Thursday, and you joined.
Yeah.
We went to the Patron El Cielo launch party for their tequila. That was a lot of fun. That was a really good highlight, and we got a lot of really nice pictures.
Yeah, it was fun. It was so cool.
And it was also, I think this was like one of the first times in a very long time that like I got dressed up and I felt good about the way that I looked. You know what I mean?
Yeah, same.
I wasn't like trying to hide imperfections or anything like that. I was dressed comfortably and like and I think I looked nice.
You looked stunning.
And so did you. This is one thing, and on Thursday, check out the video podcast because I'll be putting images in there, and then I'll also be sharing them on socials. But Michala, to me, Michala is like very much a like I would place you as like a teacher type of, like that's how you kind of present, you know what I mean? Like you have fun clothing. You have like iconic pieces that are iconic to you kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like that's where I place you.
In other words, they fit.
Yeah. Michala's little like cheat for the moment. She's like, it fits, so I wear it. But Michala like legitimately looked like a mature businesswoman who was not about to take any of your bullshit, but she was out for a good night. You know what I mean?
Like a Jenkins.
Like a nice mom out on the town that has a very prestigious job, I would say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice. I liked what I wore. Felt comfortable. That's key. Just comfortable, folks.
Comfort's key.
Yeah. Because the worst is like going out and not feeling comfortable in what you're wearing and then like
just being
self-conscious. Yeah. Which I do like far too often.
Oh,
yeah.
like always. Like I'm always self-conscious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Regardless of what I'm wearing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm yeah, I don't know. I think I
Anyway,
just don't know how to dress myself to be
yeah, I'm
able
the
to
same way.
be comfortable.
I think I'm trying to like evolve my style. Um, I don't know. I want to be able to like have an event to go to and be like, I know what I'm wearing. It's all good,
Mhm.
you know? Instead of
Well, that was
stress.
you were saying to me that like so many people out there that have like outfits that are just like locked and loaded for things, or it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, do you want to come to this party on Saturday night? And you're like, yes, I'm so excited because I have this dress that I've been dying to wear and I haven't worn it anywhere yet.
Yeah.
And when it comes to like you and I, it's like, hey, do you want to come to this event on Saturday? It's like, oh, what's the dress code? Because I don't have anything to wear.
Yeah.
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 And then you stress about it.
I know. So I'm trying to have pieces
Mm-hmm.
that are just good together, you know, like classic pieces.
Yep.
Whether that's like a skirt and a cool top, like
Mm-hmm.
versus I tend to just buy for an event.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like I think like your closet needs to be filled with staple pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a staple piece would be like just like the base outfit, right? And then you
Yeah.
have your accent pieces that you would put on top of it to dress up or dress down for certain times.
Exactly. Yeah. White t-shirt, a cool jean skirt. Cool. Now throw on that neon jacket vest thing that you have. You know, like yeah.
Yeah. Not telling anybody to go wear a neon vest because like, you know. If it looks good, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But like don't feel like you need that neon vest, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not
Everyone goes and buys a neon vest.
Not the person to be giving fashion advice, just letting you know.
Yeah. It's so funny. Bianca was telling me, so her grandma passed recently, and they went through and were going through her closet and, you know, getting things ready. And she had an outfit and it had a sticky note on it. And in Italian, it said fancy outfit or something like that, or like outfit for an occasion. So she had it all ready to go and she was going to wear it to an occasion.
That's so precious.
I know. It's very cute. So like be like Nona.
Yeah.
Have that outfit.
Just have it locked and loaded.
Yeah. Have that outfit that you love that's ready to go.
And when you step out in that locked and loaded outfit, you're going to blow minds.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
And it's funny because a couple of people have told me, they're like, you just looked so, like, you looked so confident in what you were wearing. And I think that's the biggest difference. It's like, it doesn't matter what you're wearing. No, it doesn't matter. But if you feel really good in what you're wearing, it just, it just shows, you know?
See, I find that the thing that makes me the most confident when I'm wearing clothing is whether or not I have a muffin top.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's so like, I don't know what it is about who I am as an individual, but I cannot find pants that will fit me for a duration of time.
Yeah.
I'm kind of just like in this fluctuation mode where like my waistline grows and shrinks and grows and shrinks, but it never stays in one spot.
Yeah.
And so therefore, I have pants of like 3 different sizes for the different shapes that I am. I'm like, oh. But I was able to get into my low number of waist size during the party. So like I felt good about it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing with women too, is like, and I experience this because I have like hormonal issues and stuff, but your weight is distributed in like, you know, obviously different areas. And if you have an imbalance, like you can gain weight, like especially in your stomach and like hip area. And then it's just hard to find things that you want to wear because you can't necessarily wear low, like you can if you know, feel comfortable wearing it, but I don't. So there's like low rise jeans, which are just not it for me right now. Or it's like super high waisted, and then it's like, well, that's just not comfortable. So you're in like that weird, weird
I feel that.
time.
I do this weird thing when I'm wearing pants that don't exactly fit, is where I feel like I'm continuously trying to pull them up, but what happens is that when I pull up my pants, I'm also pulling up my underwear at the same time.
So you're
So
just constant wedgie.
yeah, and like wedgies in like 3 different places. And it's when it hits that third place that I'm just like, oh my gosh. So then I have to go to the washroom and like hike them down and then like reset the pants. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
Michael, figure your life out here, okay? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's fashion, baby.
Did you see any influencers at this event?
Oh, I didn't recognize anybody.
No. Yeah,
No.
neither did I actually. I thought they were going to be.
The only thing I recognized was people's height. I was like, oh my God, look how tall they are.
Right?
Like that was it.
You're a model, queen.
But apparently there was some pretty big moments there.
Mhm.
Yeah. The music was freaking bumping.
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was
like,
so cool.
It was like just for anyone to understand this, like I swear to God, it was like somebody stole my iPod Touch from 2012 and just like took all the songs and remixed them to a house beat, and that was it. I was like, I know all these songs.
Yeah.
This is great.
I was telling Bianca, I was like, you should just be a DJ. She's like, I've always wanted to. This is the year of side gigs for us, I think.
Yeah.
You know? Just like do whatever you want, make it a side gig.
I started speaking of side gig, I started my secondary account, which is the M1 Productions, which will be like the mother company to any project that I have. So like if I decide to do another podcast with the scary stories, which is still in the works, it's very difficult to be motivated, especially when you have like this podcast is very demanding. Like there's a lot of time that goes into this for both of us. And for like anything extra that I want to do, it's like I just don't like I don't want to put any more time in front of my computer at this time. You know what I mean? But I'll get there.
It's so hard because we're just in that time where unless you have an extremely great paying job, it's not going to happen for us. So it is, and a couple of people have said like it's going to be about the side gigs, like whether you have some business on the side that you're doing or like a YouTube channel that's making money or you're investing on the side, like it's going to be all these little projects. So I'm really trying to like start
that was
something.
So on the topic of like side gigs and like investing, like you said, I was speaking to a friend recently, and he's younger, like he's early 20s, and he was talking about paying off a line of credit or something like that. And he's a musician, so he buys musical instruments.
Yeah.
Right. He's a drummer, but he also plays guitar, and he's starting to get into singing and whatnot. So, sorry, I had to reset. Long story short, so he was in a band as the drummer, and then something happened where the band broke up in this last year, like since January. And so he needed to reassess the situation and figure out what he wanted to do with his music career, because he does consider it a music career, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, so he's buying instruments, and he was using a line of credit to buy something, and he was talking to one of his colleagues, and he works in the banking system, so there's a lot of like finance individuals there, and he was saying how he was really stressed out because now his line of credit is back up to a certain amount of money, and he doesn't want it, like he wants it to be zeroed off, right?
Yeah.
I don't want debt, like that was the thing. And the banking bro that he was talking to was like, you know, the thing is that like as you get older, you'll realize that you will never be debt free. You just have to get comfortable with the debt and understand what that debt means.
Yeah.
And I thought about it and I was like, I get it. I understand that there is something to be said about having debt and like what you're investing your extra money into, or you know what I mean? But I almost want to argue with that it's like you can be debt free. Like there's nothing wrong with like paying everything off, like all of your credit cards, line of credit, like that kind of thing. Even student loan, like that type of deal.
Yeah.
Getting that out of the way and then knowing yourself to be able to make an extravagant purchase and know that that will be paid off if it's on credit, that it'll be paid off in the near future.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, depending on the size of the purchase, like, I mean, if it's a car, it'll be, 5 years, not a big deal.
Yeah.
If it's a purse, 9 months, it's going to be an expensive purse,
Yeah. I think it's a vicious cycle because it just say you have a $5,000 limit on your credit card or a balance on your credit card, I guess.
Yeah.
I always want to do this, and I'm sure a lot of people, you just want to take a huge chunk and put it right on the credit card just to get it paid off.
Yeah.
But then you don't have any money to spend.
So then you have to
So then you're using the credit card.
Yeah.
And then you're not realizing like how much you're using it, and then it's back up. So it's like you have to be like, no, like we'll do it in chunks. Let's put $300 on it.
Let's stop using it.
Yeah, $300. I'm not going to use it. My minimum payment's paid. It's good.
Yep.
It's, it's doing its thing. And now I have my money that I can spend.
Yep.
And if I have anything left over at the end of the month, I'll throw the extra $200. We'll start again. And like, you're not using it, but it is going down.
See, and I was extremely guilty of that for
for
the longest time.
Yeah.
Where I would put all of the money that I had without like rent was different because I couldn't pay rent with a credit card. It had to come out of like a debit account. But I would use my Visa for every purchase and like little purchases, big purchases, you know what I mean? And in your mind, when you're going for lunch and you're buying, $30, whatever it is, you're going to a restaurant for lunch. Like you're not going to McDonald's and spending $30. And if you are,
well,
that's
honestly the prices. Yeah, you probably are.
Okay, this is 2018 Michael's mindset.
Sure.
But you don't register those purchases in your head as like, oh, that's $30 that's on there, and then I'm gonna do this again tomorrow. That's $60, and then another time on Wednesday. And then, oh, wow, it's already the end of the week and I've spent $150 on going to a restaurant to eat.
Yeah.
And like, you just don't see it like that. But it's also you're putting these purchases with purchases like the vet bill, like your hydro bill, like your cell phone bill. And you know what I mean? And like by the end of the month, you have $1,300 that's being charged to your credit card. And now you're going to have to go and put all of your money all over again back onto this credit card. And then you're going to be relying on it all over again for those purchases.
Yeah.
And it's like, and that's why, and we've made so many jokes on this podcast, how like, I don't do anything. I don't go out. You know what I mean? But that's because I know I nickel and dime myself to death. I am a serial spender. And I no longer have that server income. I am salary. I have. Yeah. So it's like, if I can find ways to keep myself entertained without spending any money whatsoever, which is why investing in like video games is a big one for me, right?
Yeah.
Investing in a good pair of running shoes because I don't have a gym membership anymore. So now I need to keep myself entertained with a workout,
Yeah.
So going for a run. Well, every once in a while I buy myself a new pair of shorts or a new pair of underwear because, thunder thighs tearing those things apart. But you know what I mean? Like it's such a, like a, I don't know, like a grown up turn of page that I'm like, oh, I can't spend money all the time. I need to understand that like, you don't need to spend this money. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like, even though you want McDonald's, maybe you can't have it right now. You know, it's like, but I'm an adult and I want it. Well, okay, do you want to be in debt forever? Like,
Yeah. It's also another thing to say, like, well, like when your mom would say to you, no, we have food at home.
mm-hmm.
Maybe mom didn't want to use her visa.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe mom was poor. Huh? There you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Big learning brain going on there. This has been like 2 years.
I think I should go to the bank.
I think I learned all this about myself in during the pandemic because we couldn't do anything, right? And we
Yeah.
had the money coming in from the government, from CERB, and what was it, $2,000 a month or something like that? It was coming in, and I wasn't spending any money on anything. I just had like a surplus, and I was like, "This is strange. Why do I have so much money, but I'm only making $2,000?" And then came out of the pandemic, didn't have very much money because I was working again, and I was back on my spending spree, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh, this makes sense.
And it's funny because you don't really think about it when you're in your 20s or like your early 20s. But now that it's like, oh, I want to start moving forward with someone, and like, oh, maybe we should look at buying a house eventually. And then you're like really looking at it like, oh.
I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this actually, I think this morning. Because like Fernando and I would really like to find a place together, right? But the thing is right now is that like I finished school a year ago. I think Monday will actually be one full year since I walked the stage and held the piece of paper upside down. Hair flip. But I was like, the idea is that I would like to be at least in a comfortable situation debt wise, to be able to find a place with Fernando so that we can have a nice place, right? That we're not compromising on comfort things. And as a couple who like we very much enjoy our home space, we like doing things at home, like that's you know what I mean? So we want to be able to enjoy home life. But I was thinking about it, and I think it was branched from a conversation that I was having with somebody at the party on Thursday, and they said the topic of marriage was brought up, and they said, "Oh, so when are you and Fernando going to start talking about marriage?" And I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, we've been together. It was 2 years in May."
Yeah.
But like we met in October of 2020. So, and like in my mind, since we met in 2020, that's when like we started being together, right? Like that's where my mindset is. So I'm like, yeah, wow, it's already been almost 3 years, and we live very close to one another, but we don't live together. And that's one of the things. And the thing is like I will not get engaged unless we live together, because there's like a step system, I would say.
Yeah,
you know?
I agree. Yeah.
And then I was thinking, like, if we were to get married, like that's a financial thing. And then after marriage, you have to think like, where are you going to stay in the place that you're living in at the moment, you know? And then also like that kind of it puts momentum on the topic of like starting a family. Are we going to like invest in a vehicle? You know what I mean? Like how are we going to and then it's like this whole thing of like your life is starting to unravel before your not unravel, but like it's starting to reveal itself before your eyes, like, and you're like, oh my gosh, I am like standing on the edge of this chapter closing right now. And all that has to happen is a financial break in the system.
Yeah.
Like, that's wild, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just think about how much yours and Bianca's relationship will progress the moment one little milestone happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just like it's like pushing a rock near a hill, you know? It's like, it's gone. There it goes. You can't stop it now.
Right? Yeah, I know, it's scary. But exciting, but scary.
Oh, it's
like,
terrifying.
oh, I have to pay for so many things. Crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to buy a tuxedo. I can't even fit into my dress pants half the time.
The stress of finding a wedding dress.
Oof.
I couldn't even find a pair of pants.
Yeah.
Like, and just how expensive wedding things are. Anything that just has wedding in front of it. This glass, $1 at Dollarama. A wedding glass, $30.
$30.
What?
And they're selling fast, so you have to hurry up, honey. Oh, price just went up to 42. Sorry. Yeah.
Luckily,
agree.
Bianca likes to DIY, so I'll just give her like a list of things, and I'll be like, "Hey, I want flowers. Go make them."
Yeah,
you know,
go and do that.
Occupy yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very, very. It's one of those things that I'm like, I just didn't think that it was going to be a topic in my brain anytime soon. You know what I mean? But then again, like, I think mentally I always place myself as somebody who is in their early 20s still.
Right? I'm 19.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. I did hear, and we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon here. I was watching a TikTok.
Oh, good old TikTok.
The most mature thing I could say right now. But it was an interview with a woman talking about her marriage with her husband. And they were talking about it was like marriage it was like lies about marriage that people tell you, right? It was one of those things. And one of the things that she mentioned was that, you know how they say like a relationship is 50-50, right? You both have to go in 50-50.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's bullshit. That is not a thing. Because when, I don't know, Eric and I come home at the end of the day, sometimes you're more tired than the other person.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're both tired. And it's like this, she said, and I really love this idea where when they sit down and they have that like couples moment where they're like seeing eye to eye and they're kind of recapping who they are in the moment. And they would say like, how much you got today? You're like, I got 30. Like, that's okay. I can do 70. And then, it's fine. And then there's other times when you say, I got 60. Awesome. I got 60. That's awesome. We're going to have a great time. We're going to party. We're going to like party as a couple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it means popping popcorn and watching your favorite movie, whatever. But she said that there's also times in a relationship when you both have 20%. And that happens a lot. And the thing is that when you acknowledge your significant other only having 20% of energy being able to be put into the relationship, and you know yourself that you can only put 20% into the relationship, that's when the development of your relationship really counts, because it's like, okay, so we both know that we're having a rough time right now.
Yeah.
So we're going to need to do something for ourselves so that we can come to the table tomorrow and really be able to contribute to each other better.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so nice the way that she made this fairy tale of 50-50 relationships. Totally, like, she just broke it down. She's like, it's not a story. It's not a fairy tale. This is real life. I was like, yeah, I really like this.
Yeah.
That's TikTok, baby.
That's TikTok.
It's TikTok.
Yeah. No, that's smart. Relationships are hard.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it takes a lot of communication and just like getting on the same page with everything.
Communication. I know it's so cliche, but communication is key. Because if you're unhappy or if you're angry, if you don't tell people around you what you're angry or upset or happy about,
Yeah.
how is anybody going to be able to contribute to your situation? You know what I mean? And likewise, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't bottle things up so not to share them, right?
Yeah.
Unless it's wine. Sometimes you want to keep that on the shelf for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And that's for a party.
Yeah. And if you can't communicate, go to therapy.
Yeah. 100%. Yes. Actually, and that's the thing too, is a lot of therapists or like clinics that have therapists in them. There's so many that have like discounted pricing for people who do not have the money to pay for therapy.
Oh yeah, there's a ton.
So many.
Yeah, and it's great. Like different affordable therapy places, yeah.
Yeah. I'm at that point where like when you kind of want to like say yes, but like your voice just doesn't have the energy to like come out on low breath. I'm like, yeah, 100%. We're just gonna ASMR this from now on. Yeah. That's like the serious topic of the night or of the day, I guess.
Yeah, sorry to scare you. Go sit down, think about your nutrition, your relationship, and your budget.
Ooh.
Good luck.
Yeah. See you in the morning. I want to find. Do you have like a fun game or anything?
Well, it's not a game, but I have a little story.
Okay.
So this morning, okay, so we had a wedding on Saturday.
Bougie, love it.
Yeah, and we had one of those commute auto cars rented.
Yes.
And we're like, you know what? We have it for another day. So like, what are we gonna do?
Yes.
So we chose the furthest place to get brunch so that we could utilize the car. And it was just in the East End. So we went to Lazy Daisy Cafe and it was really good. Check it out.
Really?
So good. So good.
What's the theme of the restaurant?
It's so they specialize in like scones.
Oh.
So you can swap out like your toast and have like a buttermilk scone.
You have my attention.
Right? And they look so good. I didn't get a scone because I just got like a regular breakfast with one pancake on the side, and that's always what I want. And they had it. And then we went to the Dundas West Festival, and I saw Shawn Mendes. Yeah, I didn't say anything.
Fernando is freaking out right now.
But he was there, and I saw him, and I know he lives in the city, but he was with like friends and stuff, so I didn't want to like. Mm-hmm. It's also Dundas West, like everyone's in a row, and like I wasn't gonna be like, hello, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw him. I knew he was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right. And I looked at Bianca, I was like, that's Shawn Mendes. She doesn't know who Shawn Mendes is. Like, she doesn't understand. I show her pictures, and she's like, okay. And then she'll see another picture of a random dude, and she's like, that's Shawn Mendes. I'm like, no. We'll work on it. No, that's Leonardo DiCaprio, but good try.
Yes, we like that. That's Brad Pitt, 1992. I don't know how you're getting that mixed up.
That is just an old man. I don't know who that is.
That's a stock image in a frame. It literally says 4x6 on the side. But okay.
But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I saw him. I was like,
what was he wearing?
Shawn Mendes. Just like a black t-shirt. I didn't see what he was wearing on the bottom.
Tell the people what they want to hear.
He was just casual. You wouldn't have really been able, I think that was smart of him to go to a place like that, because when you're in, like, you're all walking basically like a street, right? Like, yeah. So one's going one way, the other way. But it's so packed that you don't have a chance to like go over to the other side to see someone. So he did it in a smart way. Because the momentum of the traffic is just going.
So, like, how far away would you say you were from Shawn Mendes?
Like a person away. Oh, yeah. Like I looked at his face and I said, "I know you're Shawn Mendes."
Wow. So, like, depending on the cologne that he was wearing, you could have been close enough to smell him.
He looked at me and winked and kissy face toward. No, he didn't do that. But you know what?
Okay. Oh.
Maybe he looked at me and was like, "You're the most gorgeous person I've ever seen in my life."
Oh, 100%.
And
You just missed it.
He's looking for me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll find me. Oh, I have another story.
Okay.
Quick.
Okay.
So we decided instead of walking back to go to our car, because we walked like a long Dundas and we didn't want to go back. So we were like, why don't we walk around and look at houses? Because we always like to look at houses.
Love that. And
whenever we see a house for sale, I'm like, guess how much that is? And then I look it up. So most of them are going for like 1.5, 1.8.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And they're beautiful houses. And we came across this open house and I was like, we should go in, but we look like we have no money. So we're not going to go in. And I was like, okay, guess how much this house is? She's like, 1.9. I was like, yeah, that's a good guess. $5 million.
Oh.
In a subdivision. $5 million. How? That makes no sense.
Wow.
It was just a normal house.
Just a normal house.
$5 million.
Like a red brick or anything like that?
Like, it was very nice. It was updated, for sure. It was white.
Yeah. How many stories?
I want to say 2.
2? 2 with an attic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More modern looking.
Possible loft space upstairs. Yeah, okay.
Maybe. Okay. But it didn't look overly massive.
Yeah.
Just a classic Toronto subdivision house.
Yeah.
It just had updates. Looked very nice, but $5 million.
$5 million.
Insane.
I'll take 2.
I
I haven't been using my credit card.
Because like maybe it's just a sales tactic. I'm like, okay, but I'm not going to go in and be like, hey, I know this is going for $5 million, but I can offer you 2.
Yeah.
Can you just knock off 3 mil?
Well, and that's the thing is like most of them are like 1.5, 1.9.
One down the street was 1.5. I was like, I don't understand. From my extensive knowledge on selling Sunset, I know that you have to look at the general area to base your prices. Yeah. And that makes no sense, ma'am.
Yeah.
Chriselle would tell you the same thing.
Exactly.
I'll offer you 2. But you have to throw on the couch.
But you know, the thing is that so many people in Toronto, like when they're buying a place right now, they if you were to put a condo up for sale for like, $750,000.
Yeah.
Your real estate agent will tell you that you will probably get upwards of 1.2 for it because more often than not, bidding wars do exist. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. So I wonder when Bianca was saying that there was a thing, what did she say? There is a sales tactic on it. Yeah. So I wonder if they weren't hoping that to start it at 5 million and hope that it was going to get to like 5.7. Like,
even with upgrades in a house, I couldn't see it going for more than like 2.5.
Yeah.
5 just seems insane.
$5 million in $5 million in general just is not, unless you are buying an island. Like,
the fact that we could go into a real estate agent and be like, hey, our budget's $2 million, and we couldn't see that house is insane to me.
Yeah.
Because it was just on a normal street. Yeah. Nothing crazy. It wasn't like a private.
Nothing.
Wow. No. Yeah. I'm still thinking about it. I need to give them a call. I wonder if it was a private.
I'm calling Chriselle. Thank you.
Right? I wonder if it was a private sale. And they priced their, because I did see a bunch of like open house signs around, and I wonder if they just priced it themselves, hoping that they'd get something.
That's tacky.
Well, you could do it because you cut out giving commission, right?
Well, yeah, but there's also so many things that a real estate agent does for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
reputable people.
Yeah, and like also like make you not look tacky.
I did want to go into the open house and see if they had cheese or something, but
for $5 million, yeah, they better be offering wine and cheese. They better have Ritz crackers too, because those are bomb.
I know. We should have worn our fancy outfits that we wore to the Patron party, and we could have walked in and been like, it's actually too small for me and not as expensive as I wanted it to be.
You know, The office is nice, but I would actually really like to blow out this wall so this can be like a full content room. What is the what's the what's the base of a house called again?
Foundation.
Can you tell me what the foundation is like? Do you have a full report on it?
Only have one pool. I wanted two, maybe three.
I wanted a pool underneath the master bedroom that I could just like move the bed out of the way and just dive in. So
like, honestly,
this is not going to work for me.
That.
Sorry. But thank you, baby.
It goes back to my little apartment.
Goes back to your refrigerator room in your apartment. It's -4 in there right
Two
now.
plants have died.
They're hibernating.
Yeah.
Right. Well, this has been a fun episode. This has been a very fun recap. What was I going to say? I thought that there was something else that I wanted to mention, but I guess we're just going to have to get right into it. Michala, Todd, if Shawn Mendes wants to find you on social media, where is he going to find you?
Shawn, you can find me at Michala Todd, and that's MICHALATODD. And Mike, where is he also going to find you in case, he wants to find you too?
Well, you can find me in tagged images from Michala Todd's Instagram. That's MICHALATODD.
Yes, thank you.
And if you would like to find me on my own Instagram account and also TikTok and on Facebook, I guess. Shawn probably uses Facebook.
Yeah.
You can find me at M1C1515. That's Mike with a 1 as the I, because I'm so creative. Shawn. 1515. And if you would like to find Michala Todd and Michael Jenkins on the exact same channel at the exact same time, it's a 2-for-1 deal that we're only offering on social media right now.
Yes.
You can find us at OK Hear Me Out. That's OKAY. Hear me out. We'll see you later, Shawn.
See you later. We can collab on your next song.
And for everybody else, thanks for tuning in. This has been episode 98. Next week will be episode 99, followed by episode 100, where we eat cake.
Yes, I'm getting us a cake.
I love it.
Love it.
Can it be cupcakes?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
Love a cupcake.
A cupcake
Oh,
cake.
we should have guests.
Let's have a party.
Let's have a birthday party.
That's fun. Okay, I love that. All right,
everyone. We will catch you next week for episode 99.
99.
Bye.